This is Sarah and welcome to my crochet channel. Today's video is super fun and springy, and what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to make these cute little lollipop flowers to put on your Tootsie Roll Pops or your Blow Pops or any of the standard size suckers. And they're perfect for Easter, for spring parties, for get-togethers, for Girl Scouts, church activities. They're just a lot of fun, and they're a great way to use up a bunch of your worsted weight number 4 yarn scraps and make something fun. Now again, this is a free crochet pattern on my blog, and you can find that blog link down in the notes underneath the video. What you're going to need to make one of these little flowers is a small amount of 2 colors or just 1 color, because you can make them in 1 color like this pink one if you want to. I kind of like them in 2 colors though. And I'm going to be using this lemon yellow for the center that I have gold, and I'm going to use this pink for the petals. Now these are worsted weight number 4 yarns. They're Red Heart Super Savers, but you can use any worsted weight yarn that you want to. You can even use variegated if you like. We're going to be stitching today with our H hook, and this is an H8 5.00 millimeter crochet hook. You're also going to need a needle for weaving in your ends and a pair of scissors. What we're going to do is we're going to make 2 of these center pieces, and then when we add the petals, it will hold it together. Alright, so what we need to do is begin with our slip knot and chain 4. Our first 3 chains will count as our first double crochet, and then we're going to stitch 9 double crochets in this 4th chain from the hook. So we'll yarn over, go in that 4th chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2, yarn over, and go through the second 2. And now we're going to make 8 more double crochets right in that same chain. It's going to be a tight squeeze, but we need to get all of them in there. Alright, let me count and see how many I have. Here's my chain 3 that counts as my first double crochet. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I need 1 more. 10 double crochets. We're going to join to the top of the chain 3 with a slip stitch. There's the 3 chains. We're going to go right in there, pull up a loop, then pull that loop through the loop on our hook. And we're going to go ahead and chain 3. Now don't worry if you have a little bit of a hole in the center. We'll use our beginning piece of yarn and we'll close that up when we finish. Alright, so what we're going to do for row 2, we're going to place a double crochet in the next stitch, and then we'll place 1 double crochet in the next stitch and place another double crochet in that same stitch. And so we stitched 1 double crochet in this stitch and 2 double crochets in the next. So we'll stitch 1 double crochet in the next stitch and 2 double crochets in the next stitch. I call this doing 1 and 2. 1 double crochet and 2 double crochets. 1 and 2. 1 double crochet, oops, missed my loops. There we go. 1 double crochet in the next and 2 double crochets in the next. And then 1 double crochet in that last double crochet. And you should have 14 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We're going to join to the top of that chain 3 with a slip stitch. Snug that down and tie off. This is the center portion of our flower. And we need to go ahead and close that hole if there is one. So we'll thread that needle with our tail of yarn and we'll just go around that center. Closing up that hole. And once it's closed, I turn and go back the other way, making sure it's going to stay closed. And then we can cut our yarn. And now we need to weave this in where we ended. Go through some stitches and some fibers, making sure it's going to stay put, and make sure you're doing this on the inside of your little circle. This is the center of our flower. And then we'll just cut that off. And you need to make another one just like this so we can put the two together. So we have 2 centers made. We're going to stitch them together with the outsides facing out. And so what I do is I flip this one so that it fits inside. We want the outside here and the outside here. We're going to line up because we're going to be stitching through both sides of these little circles. So we'll put our hook through a set of those. Doesn't matter where you start. A set going across because we're going to line those up. We're going to pull in our petal color, which I'm using this pastel pink. There we go. And we're going to chain 2. There's 1 and there's 2. Now in the next set, we're going to stitch 3 double crochets. So we're going to go through the next stitch on this side and the next stitch on this side. And we're going to stitch 3 double crochets. We're going through both sides of the center. And we're stitching 3 double crochets in that same stitch. There's 3 double crochets. We're going to chain 2. And now we're going to go to the next set of stitches. Stitch a single crochet and chain 2. And now we'll go to the next set of stitches. Oops, forgot to yarn over. And we'll stitch 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, chain 2. Now we'll go to the next set of stitches. There we go. And on this side, and single crochet. See, there's 2 of our petals. We're going to chain 2 and repeat what we just did. This side and stitch 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, and we'll go in the next set of stitches. And chain 2. Now we have 3 petals, and let's do another one. So we're stitching our petals and stitching the center of our flower together. Chain 2, and single crochet in the next set of stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to do one more like this. So we're going to go in the next set of stitches and stitch 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 2 and go in the next 2 single crochets. And at this point you should have 5 petals. Now the last 2 petals we're going to do different because we want to leave this opening so that we can slide our sucker or lollipop inside. So what we'll do is we'll chain those 2 and we'll stitch our petal just going through the front stitches. I put my hand kind of inside it and go in the next and stitch my 3 double crochets. It helps me remember not to stitch through both of them, as if we stitched it shut we wouldn't be able to slide our sucker inside. Chain 2, we're going to single crochet in that next stitch and then make our 7th petal, still only going through just the front stitches of the front of the center, flower center that is. Here's our 7th petal. We're going to chain 2 and then we're going to slip stitch right in that same single crochet where we started. All right, now we're going to tie off. And pull that to the back. There's your flower. It's lovely. We've got a spot so we can put our sucker inside. So the last thing we need to do is to weave in these 2 ends. Make sure when you're weaving in you go through a few stitches and try to stay in the same color so it doesn't show through on the yellow portion. All right, finish off this last one. I'm going to go right through there again, making sure that's nice and snug. And I'm going to go this way. The main key to weaving in is to make sure you go through stitches and fibers of the yarn and not just holes. As, if you just go through the holes, there is a chance that it might come undone. All right, so there is our little flower. And we just need to take a little sucker, Tootsie Roll Pop, Blow Pop, anything that's about this size, and slide it up inside. And now we've got a cute little flower. And you can add a little face if you want to. This one I just added some little eyes and a smile. You can do that. You can add ribbons, buttons, bows, whatever that you want to. This is just a super cool way to use up some of your leftover yarns. And yes, you can even use your leftover cotton yarns. These are great. Make a bunch of them up and make a cute centerpiece. So this is our lollipop flowers crochet pattern.